Check it out, guys. Smart automatic window shades. These things are crazy easy to install and the coolest thing ever. And you get custom sizes shipped to your door. There's no wires or anything you've got to run if you're retrofitting like I was. Let me show you how easy these are to install and what they can do.
Let's unbox these. So sweet that you get custom-made shades for your house shipped to your door. That in and of itself is pretty awesome, and I haven't even opened it. Let's see what's inside. All right, these are all the goods. So we obviously have the shades, and then every single shade came with documentation, a long white cord. It's a USB type A to C cord. They also came with a little bundle of mounting hardware. I opened one of them up. You get 2 brackets, and then a little baggie of plastic mounting units, as well as these little screws. In addition to that, I got 3 remotes. We'll test this. I believe one will do multiple blinds, so you may not need this many remotes, but we'll test that. It also came with their little Wi-Fi bridge, they're calling it, so we'll see how that works. I got 2 Type A power bricks, and then I got 2 of these very cool looking cables. On one end you've got USB Type A, and on the other you've got this end that swivels. Okay, and then you have all these little loose USB Type-C ends. My guess is, and we'll see, but that plugs into the blind, and then this little thing is magnetic. See how it just snaps on? So you can easily connect it with this magnetized cord. Let's get the installation underway. Okay, this is room 1. It's got 3 windows, as you can see. Now, I do have shutters, but one of the issues with shutters, they work, but can you still see how light leaks in around them? This is my little 1-year-old's room. This is facing east, so in the morning the sun hits these windows and it just gets really bright even with the shutters closed and wakes up our daughter. So these shades should help with that substantially. This is with the lights off and the shutters closed, and the sun isn't necessarily shining directly in those windows anymore, but you can see how much light still spills in even with the shutters. So we're going to see if we can improve that. I've got this nice casing. I need to be slightly in front of that, but I still want the shutter to be operable and be able to open like this. So I've just mounted a little extra piece of hardwood here that's painted the same color as the trim, and that's what I'm going to be attaching the shades to. So I've got that above each of the windows. All right, this first shade we're going to install overall is 28 3/4 wide. That's 3 inches bigger than this window, so if I move that to 1.5 inches, so it's centered, looks like my inset for my thing is about a 1/2 inch over here. And in the manual it recommends that the bracket be about 4 inches to center from the outside of the shade itself. So that means I need to place it at about 2 inches on this block. I'll just put a mark there at 2 inches, couple locations. Do this left-handed, a little tricky. All right, same thing on this side. Just test it here with the actual shade to make sure it's working. Now that's going to be perfect. Okay, I see my mark. So I'm just going to pre-drill a little hole here. Same thing over here on this side. Because I'm a little tight to this, I'm just going to make a mark, and then I'll come drill this. Some quick cleanup. And we should easily be able to just mount this now. All right, there we have it. This blind on. Look at that. And with that closed, this should bypass it. We'll be testing that shortly, but I think it's going to work. Let me put the rest on quick. This window I'm super excited about. As you can see, I've had this, it's actually a solar panel. Anyway, it's been my makeshift shade because I get a ton of sun in this window, and obviously I don't have a single window covering here, so I can't wait to get the shade in this one. And this one I think is going to be even easier to install. I'm just going to do a top mount to that sheetrock return. Should be pretty slick. So much nicer looking than the big thing sitting up on that ledge blocking that window. So even if you're just slightly DIY inclined, these are incredibly easy. 4 screws per one. Piece of cake. Mine was a little more involved because I added that extra piece of trim, but really, really easy. All right, I've charged these motors up. Got the remote right here. Let's see if we can get this working. So I already powered it up. Press the M button for 2 seconds on the motor until it rotates back and forth. Okay, so the M button is this. I'm gonna push this for 2 seconds. Oh, hang on. There's a little power switch back here. Gotta turn that on first. Okay, now I can push the M button for 2 seconds. Okay, so that should be in pairing mode now. So then we select the channel. I'm gonna go with channel 1. And then we got to switch to admin mode. There's a little switch right here. I doubt you can read anything that's on it, but it's down right now in user, so we're going to switch it to admin in the up position. And then we've got to long press this S button right here till the motor rotates. So let's see if this works. There we go. So then we should be able to go back to user mode right there. We're on channel 1, so we should be able to go down. And looky there. Wow. Yep, going back up. It literally like rotated all the way around. Probably going to have to adjust the stop points. Okay, I'm going to have to set the stop points because it's just running and running and never stopping. Let's go ahead and re-extend it because it rolled all the way around, so I gotta re-roll it the other way so it's closer to the window. Okay, I'm gonna push the middle stop button. Good. Okay, let's learn how to set its stop point. Okay, adjusting limits. We're gonna set the upper limit first. So step 1, change the remote to admin. That's what we're gonna do, flip this little switch up. Step 2, use the front button to control where it goes up. So we'll go ahead and push up. It's going to take a minute. And then once it gets to the top, we got to be ready to push the stop button. Right there. Perfect. All right. And then we've got to push the up button in the admin controls for 2 minutes. So we're going to do that, or for 2 seconds. Okay. All right. 3, set the lower limits. So now we got to just go down and do this all over at the lower limit. All right. We're getting there. I'm going to stop it right there. And then we go ahead and push the down button for 2 seconds in the admin controls. So we'll do this, and we should see that wiggle. Yep. Okay. So now, in theory, I just flip this switch down to user again, and in theory it should stop on its own now. Let's try it. It's insanely quiet. Ah, it stopped that time. Nice. Okay, now let's go down. And it stopped that time too. That's sweet. All right, rinse and repeat for all these others. And I'm going to see if I can control them all at once. I'll bring you back for that. But let me get these other ones paired and their limits set, and then we'll be back. Okay, all 3 of these should be programmed on channel 1 on this remote. The way I did that is I programmed the first one, and then I flipped its power switch off. And I did the second one and turned it off. The third one, turned it off. So now, in theory, I should be able to press the down button, and all 3 will go down. Let's see. Yep, look at that. Perfect. So cool. All right, let's do them up now. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. All right, let's see how it does with the light off now. Got all that light leaking in. Let's see how much of an improvement these shades make. Okay, so the camera has adjusted to low light mode, so it looks a lot brighter than it actually is in here. Of course, there's a little bit of leakage, and you can actually get little side tracks that prevent that from happening, and it kind of seals off the side here, so you don't have the leaking light like we have here. That is still substantially better than before. So anyway, I mean, if I don't look at that and show you in other areas of the room, it is not very bright at all. This camera has very good low light settings, so I am very happy. Let's bring it down. So nice. And crazy easy. I can't get over how easy these are to install. I've got this programmed on channel 2. The other cool thing, if I push the middle of these buttons there, you saw that it pauses the shade wherever it's at. So you can actually, have it partially closed, partially open, whatever your heart desires. Open, close, stop, and then this changes your channel. So we're on channel 2, channel 3. I only have 2 channels. I'll show you how to remove the channel so you only have 2 channels on the remote. Let me show you how to get rid of unneeded channels on the remote here. Push and hold the channel up and down buttons until 15 appears. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to select our range. So I only have 2 channels. So select 2, and then push the middle stop button. And that means it's recorded. So you have channel 0, which is default, 1, 2, 0. See, I don't have to cycle through all 15 anymore. So very slick. All right, I have the Wi-Fi widget here. Let's see if we can pair this to the shades. I'm curious to know if it's this or the remote, or if you can use both at the same time. We're flashing red, which means it's in pairing mode. So now we're going to go ahead and add. I already have some things in this app. And then we're supposed to find others Wi-Fi. Others Wi-Fi. We'll go ahead and confirm the indicator is blinking. Blinking slowly. It wants to join the smart life thing, which is correct. So we'll go ahead and continue with that. Cool deal, we got a green light there. I'm going to change this to window shade. So now we need to add a sub-device. And then we'll go LED already blink. So now, we're supposed to push this button here on the shade for 2 seconds. So far, nothing. Doesn't seem like I'm having success. Let me troubleshoot this for a minute and see if I can get it to work. So let's see if I can repeat this once again. Go ahead and add it again. The little light blinks on the Wi-Fi bridge. Okay, so then I come up here to the device. Supposed to push this button here on the shade for 2 seconds. And there we go. It's found it. So hit next. I'm going to call this center. Let me see if I can get this other one added, and we'll see if we can make this work. Okay, so for some reason I cannot get that far right one to pair. But anyway, these left 2 are. I've grouped them here. Let's see if I tap this, if it will close them. Confirm to run. Yep, that works. So now the question is, now that I've paired it with the little Wi-Fi dongle that's right there, does the remote still work? Let's see. Yep. So you can have it paired to both, which is very cool. Let me just jump in here really quick and tell you a little bit about customer service. So as you saw, I could not get the one shade to pair with the app. So I reached out to the company and let them know. They walked me through a few troubleshooting steps, and upon completing those, they determined that something in the motor was bad. And so you can see here, they immediately sent out a new motor. So before I swap it out in the shade itself, I'm going to test it and make sure that it does pair. And looky there, it found it this time. Something was defective in the other one. The instructions that came with this did not say anything about how to replace it, because obviously I just have a motor with no shade. So anyway, let's learn this together. First, I need to release the shade, and that's just done by pushing back, rotating down, and then the shade just pops off. And then I'm noticing here on the ends, there's some screws there, and there's some screws on this end too. So I presume I can unscrew those and these end caps will come off. So I probably didn't need to unroll it because I just discovered that if you just pull on this, entire motor just pulls out. You make sure the antenna is out, and we're just gonna slide this bad boy back in. I'm just gonna gently roll this back up. I didn't pay attention to this before, but there is a specific way. This long plastic goes here on the top, and the short piece goes here on the front. And this was my bad. I put the shade in the wrong direction. You guys probably caught that when I was dismantling it and putting it back together. That's okay. That's easy to fix. There we go. Now I'll just program its stop points like you've seen earlier. It'll be good to go. Moment of truth. I've got them all grouped together here in the app. I'm going to say to close all the shades. Go ahead and confirm to run. And looky there. It works. So fantastic customer service. Well, since we have an extra one of these motors, let's just open it up and see what's inside. As you can see here, this is the part that rotates. So this portion here that's metal on the end is the motor. Looks like we've got a control board, PCB of some kind. On this other end, we've got the battery pack. Looks like two 18650 batteries. Nominal voltage of 7.2. It's rated for 2 amp hours, 14.4 watt hours. So I'd say the build quality is quite good. Definitely not user serviceable, which is why they have great customer support, so they can help you out when you have issues. Let me give you a quick tour of this app. It's very simple. Let's start at the bottom left. We've got the up button, the stop button, the down button, and then we've got the favorite button. And this is kind of cool. You can drag this down to a percentage that you want it to close to, and it will close to that. So anyway, that's kind of unique. You can also see the battery state of charge, which is awesome. Up here, the gear icon, we've got our settings. We can see how strong the Wi-Fi signal is. We can change the direction of the motor. We can turn the status light off and on. We can go ahead and set the limits, plus our favorite position, so that the star button on the home page works. And then we can go ahead and set up a schedule. So we can tell it a specific time, specific days, and then we can have it open, stop, close. Dimming up, dimming down doesn't apply because this isn't a light. Now I'm using the Tuya Smart app. Instead of using the schedule inside the blind settings itself, come here to Scene, then go ahead and create a scene. Now here you have way more options to use, and I'll show you why that could be good. Let's go with the schedule, but this is cool. See, now we can set it to happen at sunrise. We'll repeat every day, that's fine, confirm. So at sunrise, then we're going to control the device, we're going to do the office shade, and we're going to control it, and we're going to open it. So see, that's a lot more robust because now I don't have to keep changing the time. It will just automatically open my shades at sunrise every day, and then I can set another one to close, at sunset, or the weather changes or whatever. You can get a lot more granular adjustment configuring the scenes in the app itself rather than going through the individual device settings. So definitely take advantage of that. Let me show you how easy it is to order these shades. Just come to the website. They have a variety of options, so many options to pick from. It's awesome. Anyway, let's just go here with these motorized linen shades. And then you just fill out the information here. So you pick your color right up here. Then you're going to pick if you want outside or inside mount. You've seen both of those scenarios in my video. And then you get to decide what kind of motor you get. So you got the standard one that just comes free. You can get the upgraded one that is compatible with the Wi-Fi hub, which is the one that I was able to get. And you can get the one with Matter built in for smart home. So anyway, take your pick on those. And then you put your width in right here. And then any fractions on top of that, and then your whole inches on height, and any fractions, and then you get to customize the cover. I kept mine white, but you could have it wrapped in black. You can add fabric inserts, and then you've got different bottom pieces here. And then finally you get to decide which way you want it to roll, and then you can select which side the motor is on. That can be very handy in a number of scenarios just for ease of charging. Pick up a remote,
You have the option of getting a solar panel that goes in your window so that basically the blind always stays charged if you get exposure to sun through your window. There's your charging block. Highly recommend this fast, easy magnetic charging cable. And then you're able to get what they call light blockers, and these kind of seal off the side of the shade. Like you saw demonstrated on mine, where I have a little leakage on mine. You could get these light blockers so that you don't have any of that light leaking through. Throw the name on there and add to the cart. It's very, very easy. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments on these shades. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I always say the smartest people are in my comments section. Sound off down there on your thoughts if you think this is a good proposition or not. I have links to these down in the description for you to check out. Please give us a like, a subscribe, a comment, and a share. 4 100% free things for you to do, but they benefit the channel tremendously. I would really appreciate that. We've always got all kinds of cool things in the pipeline. Sure appreciate all of you guys. Stay safe, and we'll catch you all next time.